Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Heartbeat of Hope. And my name is Lisa. Well, this week, the Lord has really been working on me on adoption. And then also, what was coming up was I was a single mom, and I know I used to read statistics of kids that were products of single parents and, especially boys, because I had a son and y'all know he's in prison. So unfortunately, he ended up as one of those statistics. That doesn't mean that's how it's going to come out. That's just how it is, what it is right now. And you guys know that I have hopes and words for him and his future, but where the Lord was taking me was adoption. I found out in my 50s that I was adopted, and I didn't know my whole life. But what was crazy about it was that I just knew when I was a kid that I didn't belong in this family. And I kept asking them, you know, I don't look like you guys. Where did I come from? I just knew somehow that I wasn't born into that family. Anyway, and they were really kind of emotionally disconnected, emotionally not present. I had a father and a mother, but they were just busy and didn't really know how to deal with emotional things or and I also had an autistic sister, so that took up a lot of their time. And so I really just kind of felt like orphaned in a way. So then I got into, father to the fatherless. My son's father was not present in his life. I was going down that road, which led me down into widows and orphans and foster kids and all of this. And as I'm studying this, um, the Hebrew word, I'm probably going to mispronounce it. It's yatom. It's Yatom. That is like in the Hebrew script when you dive in and you start reading some of this stuff in the Hebrew, um, which is closer, original text. It was lonely. That word meant loneliness. And it was in when it was talking about the fatherless, the orphans, all of the people groups that I'm talking about, it all boiled down to loneliness. I mean, I had a family and I was lonely. Loneliness has been something I've had to battle my whole life. It's something that I continue to battle, now that my son is gone and I'm not married, I'm single, and it is just me. And so I have to really be intentional about spending time with God and community and getting out, especially in these days of working from home and doing podcasts at home. And, I do Zoom meetings and things like that. And so a lot of my stuff is online and it's not out and with people. And so I know that that happened a lot with COVID. Everybody just kind of went in and isolated. And I think some of that has kind of stayed on where more people work from home and, it could be days before you get out of the house. And this is a major attack of the enemy, y'all, to get you in loneliness. And that's where, you know, these statistics were coming from that I was reading at, father to the fatherless, is that, boys end up in crime, girls end up pregnant because they're seeking something. They join gangs because they want family or, all of those things. And so I feel like loneliness is almost like an epidemic that in this world of isolation and everything being remote and everything being from home is an epidemic. And I just feel like it's a major attack of the enemy. And I know a lot of people feel lonely. So I don't want to go into all the negatives about this or what it is, but that's where he led me. And so I thought, what are you trying to tell me? With the adoption, it was really cool because he was telling me God wanted a family of his own. It's the whole thing. God wanted his own family to carry on his seed, to go out and multiply. But it was about being chosen. I can look at all the negatives of that, of my birth parents wanting to give me up and feeling rejected and unwanted, or I can look and be like, wow, my adoptive parents, took me in as a baby and they chose me. They saw something in me. They chose me. And so if you are adopted and you struggle with that, that really kind of helped my outlook as far as like, wow, they saw something in me as a little baby before I could even speak. And they said, hey, we want that one. And that's what God did. God's like, He chose you. He chose me. He chose us, and he said, "Hey, I see something in her. I want her." And he wants you. He sees something in you. He wants you. He's adopted us. Adoption, when I looked it down to the Hebrew, it meant to hug or embrace. And so it's to be adopted. Sounds almost negative to me when I hear it. I didn't even like to say that I was adopted when I found out. But it's a hug. It's an embrace. And you get that hug from God that you're adopted. It's a relationship. So then we go over here and sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Y'all, this is unedited. He told me not to edit any of this stuff that I do. So you got to deal with I'm not a professional podcaster. Anyway, so I was looking at these statistics and all these things, and I thought I just want to hear some good things like, what can I read that's going to encourage me through all of this? And Psalm 27:10, though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. And, this is also not just for families that are, you're adopted or you're with a single parent family or, but there are families where people are not, they're physically present, but they're not emotionally present. My adopted dad, he worked, he was gone all the time, and we also had a ranch. And so if he wasn't working at the office, he was outside working. And then when he came in, he went to his recliner, he turned on the TV, and you didn't hear from him. So he was emotionally absent. I can probably think of a few conversations that we had. And he was a great provider. We had everything that we needed. He just wasn't emotionally there. So you can be lonely in a house full of people. And I have been that. And that's I had several people living in my house, and I was probably the loneliest that I had ever been. So just because you have people around you, and alone and lonely is not the same. I can be alone and be completely happy. I'm an introvert, so I can be alone and be completely content. But loneliness comes in and, just has you feel like you're all alone in the world. There's no one to defend you. There's no one to provide for you. There's no one, and that's rough when that comes. As I got reading through the Bible, it was like the heart of God for this people group that suffer from loneliness. And he had such compassion. It was such compassion that he almost made himself a special representative for these people. But he said in Hosea 14:3, in you the fatherless find compassion. He defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow and loves the aliens, giving him food and clothing. He instructed in the Old Testament to take care of the fatherless, the widows, the orphans. There was 40 something verses about providing for this people group, which were the lonely. In Psalm 10:14 it says, "But you, the Lord, do see." He sees. He sees you. He sees me. He sees us. He sees the situation that you're in. He sees your loneliness. And Psalm 10:14 goes on to say, "You may take it in your own hands. To you, the helpless commits himself, and you've been the helper of the fatherless." Anytime it says fatherless, orphan, and widow, it's lonely, missing something or someone. The attack of the loneliness since my son has been gone has been ridiculous. And so I'm just, like, how do we battle this when it comes? So leading to that, Psalm 91:1 talks about a secret place with the Lord. And from personal experience, I will tell you this is a huge help for loneliness. It's a huge help for many things, but if you are dealing with loneliness, I suggest this. Secret place in Psalm 91:1. I'm going to read it out of the Passion Translation, which I know some people don't like the Passion, but I love it because it's just so talking in love and passion. "But when you abide under the shadow of Shaddai, you are hidden in the strength of God Most High." And then other versions call it the secret place. And so a secret place, I've talked to you guys before and said, I'm a how-to girl. Somebody tell me how you do this. Like, I think the church is getting way better about instructing the body and people about how to do these things. But I feel like when I just started and got into church and trying to learn about God and Jesus and read my Bible and do all these things, I thought, how do these people, I'm talking like real life, real life struggles. How do you use these and get through real life struggles? Everybody has real life struggles right now. I don't know anybody that is not having a struggle with something, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's, a kid in prison or, whatever it may be. I suggest a secret place. So, how to? And I will tell you, there are several verses if you'd like to look them up, but the Psalm 91 is also a great, just read the whole chapter. When I was scared to death in my house living alone, when my son first went to prison, I think I talked about this in the beginning when he first went, there were people not even involved threatening me because it was very public, and I don't, just some angry people just wanting to get involved or, just scare somebody, bully somebody. So I had a whole time of being scared. I mean, literally shaking in my boots, staying awake at night, scared, in terror. Could not sleep, alone in this house and, feeling unprotected and all of the things. Psalm 91, when you look at it in the Passion, the title of it is Safe and Secure. And I would read Psalm 91 and I would just soak in it, repeat it to myself, and it's all about being safe and secure in Him. And it would just give me peace. It would calm me down. And then I started learning about Secret Place and how to just get there with Him. So it's really, when you talk about secret place, I'm going to try to define it for you, but it's really a spiritual state. You're in a quiet spiritual state. Some would probably say it's meditation. I don't like to use that word. It seems to be associated with other things. But it's a spiritual state of your mind, and you're focusing on God and His presence and sitting with Him. So that's what I call a secret place. So, how to definitely be alone. If you are in a house with a bunch of people, I would suggest either going to your car or getting in a closet. A lot of people have prayer closets, putting Bible stickers on the wall, and it came from the War Room movie. If you guys haven't seen that, it was a really good movie, but she called it her ward room. I had a place in my closet when I was living with some people, and I would go in my closet, and I had verses on the wall on stick-it notes. I had pillows in there. I'd bring a candle in there. Had a little Bluetooth speaker in there where I could play some music. Get you a little spot. If you live alone, then anywhere. But if you live with people, just create a little spot. If you can take a spot in your office, point is you want to separate yourself with minimal distractions. Tell your kids, Mama needs 15 minutes, or do it in the evening, whenever it works for you. But you need minimal distractions. And I love to put on instrumental music, just real soft in the background. It just kind of blocks out any noises I may hear, my dog barking, whatever. I'll put that on and just, it's going to be hard in the beginning because I feel like our minds are like squirrels, just going to the next thing or thinking about this thing, trying to get your mind focused, just focus on this. So get alone, remove distractions. If you want to turn on some soft instrumental music, do that. And just start practicing this and sit in there. If it's 5 minutes to start, great. I mean, progress is progress. Like, don't guilt yourself. Don't quit. Don't say this isn't good enough, because that's not what God's saying. God recognizes that you spent 2 minutes trying to get in focus, and you will grow, and it will get longer. So be alone, remove distractions, just quiet your mind, just close your eyes. So do it with me now. Close your eyes and just focus on God. If you want to picture Jesus, but just focus on God. And if you want to talk to Him, you want to ask Him questions, you can, or you can just sit. And if your mind starts thinking, oh my gosh, I need to do the laundry, bring it back. God. Oh my gosh, the phone is ringing. Bring it back. Turn your ringers off. Be intentional. This is the whole thing. He's going to recognize that your heart, this is all about your heart, right? He's going to recognize your heart and your intent to go in here and spend time with him. You're giving him this time. You're trying to connect with him. He's going to meet you. I promise you. He's going to meet you and you're going to go there. I don't care if it's 30 seconds, a minute. He sees it. He knows it and he knows your intention and that you are trying to get closer to him, to get in his presence and grow your relationship with him. So you get in there, do these things, sit down, focus on him. If you have to say his name over and over again, just say God, God, Jesus, Jesus. And if you have to say his name over and over and over again to stay in that, keep doing it. If you want to read your Bible while you're doing it, go ahead. If you want to turn on worship music, or sometimes, I mean, there is no perfect way to do this. It's the way you connect. So if you want to do some worship music for a couple minutes and just get you in and then just quiet down and get with Him, do that. Whatever you feel, whatever you want to give to God, it's your intent and the intent of your heart to get close to Him. Sometimes I will say, God, where do you want to meet me today? Just get in that thing. Where do you want to meet me today? I have several secret places. They change up, it seems like. So I will tell you, there was a secret place that I would go with him when my son was in the midst of all these trials, midst of all this drama. I had so much going on. I had, selling my house, doing all the things to try to help him. And, I'm single. I was doing this all alone. And, man. So I remember sitting with him one time, and I don't think I even asked him, where do you want to meet me at? He All of a sudden I just see this in my, and it's not, when I say I see something, it's almost like a movie is playing out in my head that I didn't put there. Like it just starts playing. But I saw this boat. It was um gosh, I don't even know. It was a wooden boat. I know that. Wooden boat. And we're in this boat. And he would take me here. And then I got to where, oh, I can go here and say, what's going on? So we would go this boat, and he took me to this boat, and there was a storm, and the water was splashing, the waves were going. This little boat is all over and he's like, you're in a storm right now. Like you're in a storm. Keep your eyes on me. Um, and he was, rowing. Then a couple of times I'd go there on purpose and I'd be like, what is going on? At one point I saw a volcano coming. It was about to erupt, just let me know, okay, I need to brace myself. I need to get with the Lord because I've got to go through the storm. Other times I'd go there and he wasn't even in the boat. And I would be like, Lord, why are you not in the boat? And he's like, well, you took control and you kicked me out of the boat. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, I'll lay that down, get back in the boat, and let's go. And it's an awesome way of communicating with him and letting me know where I was at, what I was going through, what I had done, that I had taken over the reins, that I had taken the oars and took control, because we always want to control everything. So that was one of the secret places. And during that time, I haven't had that one for a long time, but during those years of all of that turmoil, I used that one a lot to tell me what was going on, where I'm at, what's happening. I have a couple of other ones. Well, I'll just share today. He took me to a mountaintop, and there was a bench on the top of this mountain, huge. And I saw all these people down at the bottom, and the reason for this was because he said, tell my people how to meet with me. It's the whole reason I'm talking about this today. There's people that don't know how to meet with him. I didn't know how to meet with him. So, God, where do you want to meet me at today? Like I said, you may see a beach, you may see a mountaintop, you may see a house that you loved. You may be in a field. I don't know. You may be in a boat, and he's going to show you what's going on in your life. Just be open minded and let him show you. Let him give you a vision or a picture. And if you don't see the picture, then a sense of, okay, I feel like I'm on a mountaintop with him. I feel like we're sitting on a park bench. Stop there. Sit there with him. Keep your mind there and just sit there with him. Let him, I'm telling you, when you get to that place, you're going to feel his presence. You're going to feel peace. You're going to feel warmth. You're going to feel like a hug. You're going to feel love, presence. Presence combats loneliness. Presence, get in his presence. This is going to combat the loneliness. If I choose to sit in that loneliness, and when it comes, man, it'll send me to the bed crying. But if I will choose to sit in his presence, then I'm okay. I can sleep. I can rest. I can get up and function, and I can go do things, and I can get out, and he fills you up. The hope bucket. He'll fill up your hope bucket. I talked about that in a previous podcast, just giving you hope to get through whatever is going on in your life struggles, to get through that hope. And do it on a regular basis. Like I said, if you just did 5 minutes today, if you do 5 minutes today, fine. Do 5 minutes every day until you can, sit there longer. And I believe if you are consistent with that, then it's going to grow and you're going to want to sit there and you're going to crave it and you're going to want to sit with him and be in his presence and get filled up. If you need to go there and unload, tell him everything. I have gone to this place with him and given him all my anger. I have gone there and told him I'm mad at him. I've just been honest with him. He has cried with me and he understands why I'm angry, and he will talk to me and give me his perspective on things and fill me up. We just can't bottle it all in. He's my best friend. I tell him honestly how I feel. And not once have I ever been condemned or shamed because I know some people have just shuddered when I said, I told God I was angry at him, that I was mad at him. And they're like, oh, you don't talk to God like that. I'm sorry. Nobody gave me any rules. And so I just started telling him, like, I'm really mad at you. This was not supposed to go this way. I did these things and this is what, has come out of it. I gave him all of that honestly, and he gave me his perspective. So you need that. You need his perspective to get through your life struggles. He didn't say life was going to be without pain or that there was life without struggles. I don't know that I hate a lot of the stuff that I've gone through, but I know that it has made me stronger if I will grab his hand and let him walk me through the wasteland. Oh my gosh, I saw a verse about that today, about him walking us through the wasteland. He's walked me through the wasteland many times, and I'm telling you, you don't want to walk through the wasteland by yourself. I've done that too. That's where you end up with your own coping strategies, and you end up with the enemy telling you who you are and all of the things. Let God walk you through the wasteland of what's going on with you. So that's it. Just be alone, remove distractions, get to a closet. If you find yourself distracted, just bring it back. Don't beat yourself up about it. Say, I can't do this. Don't quit. Don't quit and get frustrated like I can't do this. If you need to do it at another time because there's too much going on, fine. But, don't quit because you're learning how to focus and sit down. And I really just think this helps our minds too. But I do want to pray this over you guys before I go. This is Psalm 91. And I just want to read it from the Passion Translation. And I want you guys to just soak in this. And if there's any questions about the secret place or any questions about anything, you can always email me at theheartbeatofhope@gmail.com. Okay? So we're going to close out with this. So, Lord God, I just pray this over everyone listening today. I pray for them to get to that secret place with you and feel your presence, Lord. Meet them there. Just fill them with your overwhelming love. Let them know that hug from you when you get there and get in that presence and that comfort, that peace, that hope, that love, all of that that comes when we sit in your presence. And I pray this over them, that when you abide under the shadow of Shaddai, you are hidden in the strength of God Most High. You're hidden in His strength. He is the hope that holds you and the stronghold that shelters you. He's the only God for you, and He's your great confidence. He will rescue you from every hidden trap of the enemy, and He will protect you from false accusation and any deadly curse. His massive arms, can you picture God's arms? His massive arms are wrapped around you, protecting you. You can run under His covering of majesty and hide. Secret place. Run under His covering of majesty and hide. His arms of faithfulness are a shield keeping you from harm. You will never worry about an attack of demonic forces at night. Man, I know that's what used to happen to me, is the demonic forces at night would come in and just scare me and talk to me. Read this, Psalm 91. You will never worry about an attack of demonic forces at night, nor have to fear a spirit of darkness coming against you. Don't fear a thing. Fear is huge. Don't fear a thing. Whether by night or by day, demonic danger will not trouble you, nor will the powers of evil be launched against you. Even in a time of disaster with thousands and thousands being killed, you will remain unscathed and unharmed. You will be a spectator as the wicked perish in judgment, for they will be paid back for what they have done. When we live our lives within the shadow of God Most High, our secret hiding place, we will always be shielded from harm. How then can evil prevail against us or disease infect us? God sends angels with special orders to protect you wherever you go, defending you from all harm. If you walk into a trap, they'll be there for you and keep you from stumbling. You'll even walk unharmed among the fiercest powers of darkness, trampling every one of them beneath your feet. Amen. For here is what the Lord has spoken to me. Because you loved me and delighted in me and have been loyal to my name, I will greatly protect you. I will answer your cry for help every time you pray, and you will feel my presence. In your time of trouble, I will deliver you and bring you honor. I will satisfy you with a full life and with all that I do for you will enjoy the fullness of my salvation. That is full of protection, provision, promise, love, presence. Read that, soak on that, memorize it. It's my favorite. All right, you guys, I hope that you have a great week. And like I said, if you have any questions, just email me. And I love you all. And I hope that this helps you beat loneliness. All right, bye bye.